2025 is a pretty important year for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Not necessarily because a lot of people think these movies are going to be huge, but it's going to be very interesting to see where the future of the MCU goes, especially with Fantastic Four. People are going to be looking at that, whether that succeeds or fails. I think a lot of people think that's very important for the future of whatever the MCU wants to do. However, before we get to Fantastic Four, there are a couple movies that needs to come out, and one of those has been having problems ever since it was announced, and that is Captain America 4. Captain America, which is originally called New World Order, then got changed to Brave New World. Ultimately, the title isn't really the problem. It's the character, because this is not Captain America. It's Falcon as Captain America. And just as Falcon was rejected as Captain America in the comic books, seems like that's the way it's been when it comes to the MCU. Falcon and Winter Soldier was an abomination of a show. But Captain America 4 is set to come out a month from now, and we've heard about a million different reshoots. We've heard about ballooning budgets, potentially a budget of up to $350 million for this movie. Internally at Marvel, they feel like it's going to be a nightmare. Seth Rollins even came out, who was supposed to star in this movie, and said, after all the reshoots, after everything they've done, I'm not even in the fucking movie anymore. So don't waste your money going to see this. Doesn't look like a lot of people are willing to waste their money, because we've just got the first box office predictions for Captain America Brave New World. The box office theory shared the predictions for Captain America Brave New World will now only gross between 81 million and 107 million on its opening domestic box office weekend, ultimately with an average of 96 million. Keep in mind, that's a holiday weekend. That's a 4-day weekend, not your traditional 3-day. Traditional 3 days more at $85 million. To put that in perspective, that would be significantly less than even something like Ant-Man 3 Quantumanium, which obviously went on to gross about $400 million worldwide and it lost a fuck ton of money for the MCU. This movie needs to make $1 billion-ish just to break even, and that might be being a little bit generous. If that's the opening, if it has an opening tracks like the rest of these things we've seen for the MCU, that is a disaster. This is a movie that loses hundreds of millions of dollars for Disney. And personally, I don't think this movie has any fucking hope, regardless of how many reshoots or whatever they did, because people like Falcon, they don't like him as Captain America.
Mm-hmm. And what are you going to do? Do you think if, hypothetically, if Bucky were to take up the mantle, if that would be received better?
I certainly think so. I certainly think it would have been received better by a lot of people. I feel like a lot of people feel like, what the fuck is Winter Soldier even up to right now? What's he doing? He's about to be in that Thunderbolts movie, which is just a bunch of extras, thrown into the Thunderbolts. But I certainly think people would have liked it better. I still don't know if it would have been the same level of interest as Steve Rogers' Captain America. But I think it probably would have gone over a little bit better than Falcon.
I just think they totally mistreated after Civil War. They completely misused and underutilized Winter Soldier in the Infinity War and Endgame movies. They just give him a gun and he's just shooting people. It's like, this motherfucker has the super soldier serum just like Steve Rogers does. He should be out there fucking shit up too, but no, he just has a really big gun and just fucking killing people. So he was underutilized, but at least he has the fucking super soldier serum. Besides that, do you know if they're still going with that pro-Israel superhero in this movie?
Who has any idea exactly what they're going to do? Because that was a big backlash from some of that side of the family. That's like, oh my God, I can't believe you have someone from Israel in this, right? We've seen them, the same people that are mad Gal Gadot is in Snow White, right? I have no idea what this movie is after all of the reshoots and rewrites. It's a completely different movie. They refilmed basically the entire thing. So I don't know. I don't know if they're going to do Sabra. That's the character, right? That's the hero. I don't know if they're going to do Sabra or not.
Yeah, this movie's going to be trash. And then Giancarlo Esposito was like a late casting for the reshoots, and now who knows what kind of role that he's actually going to have in it after it goes through reshoots, or it went through shoots again recently. If he's even going to be as involved as he was going to initially. And what a waste of Giancarlo Esposito. He is a fantastic actor. Whatever he's in, he is great in, except for maybe The Mandalorian. But I think that he was still even good in The Mandalorian. What a waste, man.
Yeah, it does not seem like there's very much hope for this. And when you spend upwards of $350 million just making a movie, you're already setting yourself up for failure. But the expectation that you would need to cross $1 billion. But if that's what it is, if this movie comes out a month from now, and there's really no competition, so in the weeks after it, it could potentially, if it's well received, could have a good run. But if this thing comes out and opens to $85-95 million, that's disastrous. That's absolutely disastrous. That puts it behind the pace of Ant-Man and the Wasp 3. I mean, this is what we've expected with this thing. I don't think internally there's very much hope at Marvel that it's going to be any good. They're hoping to recoup some of the money, but I just don't think it's going to fucking happen, man.
No, I don't think so either.
Get this man some super serum.
And maybe that's what I'm saying. Believable. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If he's supposed to take a punch from Red Hulk, he ought to have some super serum, or else he's just going to fucking crumble into dust.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing now. It's like, oh, well, his entire suit is going to be made of fucking
vibranium.
Yeah, vibranium, and that's how it get. Well, even with like Black Panther, or whatever, he's still fucking taking that shit. You know what I mean? He was taking that fucking flower.
Yeah,
he was going beast mode, right? Mm-hmm. Come on, what's Falcon doing? Falcon can't even get a loan. We need to get this man some super soldier serum.
Are you going to see the movie?
If we're supposed to review it for FNT, I probably will go and see it. But I mean, I don't have too much interest in it other than like outside of just professionally reviewing it. I don't think it's going to be any good. I hated Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I thought it was trash. I like Harrison Ford as an actor. I really do. I don't think he gives two fucks about this role.
No.
I do think it's funny that in the mid 90s, having him in his, I don't know, mid 40s or whatever, be president was like believable and stuff. And now that he's fucking 80 something, having him be president is still believable. It's very funny. It's very funny.